All right, what's up, everyone? Today is Sunday, December the 9th, 2018, and we are in our portfolio review / strategy call. So let's just go ahead and start, actually starting here at the bottom. Here in XLE, we do know that oil has been, pretty volatile recently. XLE for January is doing quite well. We do have our short strike here at 65. XLE is selling for right at 64. We are well within our break-evens on this trade. Nothing to do here going into this week. All right, XBI is the S&P 500 biotech industry, and we're laddered into this trade. So as you can see here, we have one straddle here at the 77, one straddle here at the 84. Got a 52% probability of profit right now, but as we know, this will continue to move as we get closer and closer to expiration, and we will look to manage these early. Nothing to do right now. We've got really wide break even, 72 to 86, and so again, nothing to do here in XBI except let the market continue to move. VIX were down simply due to our short stock. Again, this is part of my long-term plan with VIX, and so I'm not really concerned about that. We did have a option go off, for profit this week. So, and we have another one here, and we just keep having these. It looks like this one's in the money. We have a couple that are in the money right now, but that's fine because we just continue to ladder into. We do know that due to contango and a number of other forces that eventually, I think VIX Central calls it the feather in the wind, right? Eventually the feather is always going to go to the floor. It might just take some time to get there, and so that's kind of the long game that we play here in VIX. UVXY, because we're only short 100 shares rather than the amount that we currently have in VXX. We've got some really far out of the money calls right here. We did see a pop in VIX, right? VIX, kind of the underline there. And so that means I'm probably going to be a little aggressive in adding some positions. We saw a pretty significant increase on Thursday and Friday after Wednesday's off session. And so it does mean that I think I'm going to spend some level of looking at getting into some more single positions, right? Only single positions here in UVXY and VXX. Let's go into UNG. Okay, as you all know, we laddered out of a particular trade in UNG, and we've just got to kind of adjust here this December position a little bit. What I am going to do, though, is I am going to look to begin to add for January. So our UNG position, originally our break-evens were here and here, right? But that was before we ever got into our laddered position or our adjusted position here, this 29 call to 34.5 puts. And so remember, we moved that 29 put up to 34.5, and so that's going to take our break evens out pretty significantly, and that is not reflected here, but we will look to begin to try to get this position off as we're about 12 days out from expiration. SMH, or semiconductors, for January, we have already taken off one position here in the semiconductors. Let's actually update this break even slice. 53% probability of profit. We'll see what happens. We are actually far enough out from January that we might look to add another position. So we might actually look to add another position here in SMH. Otherwise, we're just going to let this continue to go. As we get closer and closer to expiration, we might move this 106 position down a little bit. But for right now, we're not going to do any kind of messing with the particular position. The Qs, this is a directional trade that we put on about a week ago. The Qs, actually, after we put on the trade, traded all the way up in here into the 168, 169. It was really challenging this position, but two really big down days last week have kind of put us in this position now where we're at 161. I anticipate what we're actually going to get down a little bit based on futures prices already. So this position, we're likely, because we're 12 days out, we're likely just going to let this go all the way to expiration. OIH, this is another position where we laddered in, right? So we had this initial 20 call, right? And then we had an 18 straddle, so 20 straddle, 18 straddle, and we've already taken off the 18 straddle for profit, and now we're just looking to manage this OIH position. So now we're certainly going to move this call down, right? Certainly going to look to move this call down and get a little bit more credit and then readjust. Our January position, January position's fine. January position looks really, really good here. It's really just this position here in December that doesn't look as good. But again, we've already taken off a bunch of credit and a bunch of profit off from a laddered position there. So we are okay there in OIH. IYR, this is another laddered position here in IYR. Just kind of looking to get that off at this point, probably for a break even. We'll look to see if we can't get a small move down here in IYR. In order to get that off. January position is looking solid. Yeah, January position is looking fine. I feel really good about the January position. Not looking to adjust or do anything with the January position just yet. FXI, our January position is here at 40, so we're looking great there. Our December position, we're just going to let move all the way to expiration since we're so close to getting this off, and we're at a 94% probability of profit. So bearing disaster, we're just going to go ahead and take this position all the way to expiration and take our full credit. FXC, so we just have our long strikes, which is why this looks so funny here. Our December long strikes. As you can see here, we're just going to let them expire worthless as small little lottos. And then we do have our position for January already 74 points. That's not completely accurate. Let's go here. We're at 54.17% probability of profit. That felt a little high originally. And again, we're right smack dab, basically in the middle. So not looking to do anything with FXC at the current time. EWW, this is another one that we've laddered significantly, and there's a video lesson that if you haven't already looked at that we laddered significantly here in EWW. We took off a ton of profit, adjusted this, and so now we're just looking to manage this. I think that auto order is going to probably go off this week. They're not really looking to do a heck of a whole lot with EWW. And finally, EEM. This is a laddered position again where we took some stuff off, added some stuff. I've already taken some stuff off for profit. Here's the January position looking fantastic. December position also looking great. Right smack dab over the center. We're going to let this time decay continue to just eke out of this particular product. Now, we are at that spot where we're about 40 days out from expiration, so we're going to be looking to do our last initial adds for a majority of our securities that we don't already have January positions for. Now, this is important because we have been in the process of just laddering, and kind of adding and being pretty selective, and now we're getting into the point where I'm going to be less selective and I'm just going to be looking for exposure. Okay, just looking for exposure. And so that's it. I think that the markets are going to have another down week. That's my personal opinion. Again, we're going to continue to trade neutrally for the most part, unless we have specific indicators that we're looking for that want to challenge that kind of base underlying assumption. But for now, we are simply going to spend time going neutral. Going to look to add, so look to be active tomorrow. I anticipate we'll be pretty active tomorrow to start the day. Now, if you have any questions at all about the portfolio or some of the things that we're doing, please feel free to reach out to me at Ryan@SellThatOption. Otherwise, have a great week, and let's continue to finish the year off pretty strong. All right, so what you just saw was a weekly video that I send out to my members every single Sunday that does really two things. One, it goes over my current positions, kind of what I'm thinking with each of those positions, whether or not I think we're going to need to adjust those positions or add to those positions. I also will go over kind of what I'm thinking going into the week, right? So I'm thinking, hey, right, the market is giving us this. What is it that we need to do in order to be successful this week in the market? What is it that we need to do in order to make sure that we are generating income for our portfolios? And then the other thing that we're doing is we're talking general market overview, right? What's going on in the market? In late 2018, right, when I'm recording this, oil has been getting destroyed, right? And so we talk a little bit about how that's influencing the general market, right? Why is oil doing what it's doing, or how is it impacting the S&P 500? How is it impacting general market sentiment, right? We're really trying to get into the mindset, right? And we're really trying to delve deep into some of these larger issues in the market, right? And how that might impact our portfolios. Right, and the reason that I do this is because I sincerely believe that what needs to happen week in and week out, day in and day out, is for people that are trying to learn how to get good at this, right? Because all this is it's a skill. It's like every other skill, right? You can learn, right? You need to learn from somebody that's been there, that's figured it out, and can be successful, right? So that's what I'm doing with each of my members every Sunday when I send this video out. So I'm saying, hey, this is getting into the mind of somebody that's figured it out, that is successful. And so I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not advising. I'm simply showing you and letting you get into my mind a little bit as to what it is that I do day in and day out, week in and week out. Now, for watching this far, I want to give you a special code, right, for membership. So if you're ever interested in joining us here at sellthatoption.com, you can go to Stock Trading Services and you can enter the code YouTube. All lowercase, YouTube, all lowercase, in order to get 50% off any membership, lifetime 50% off, quarterly, yearly, monthly, all 50% off, and all available to you with the code YouTube. Okay, so what do you get? Under members, you get my daily recap videos, you get my weekly strategy videos, you get my introduction to stock options course, my advanced options course, and my general knowledge base. And I am always adding new courses, right? I'm always adding new case studies, always adding new stuff to make sure that the education and the product that I'm delivering is simply the best. That's my goal, to deliver the best product. That way I give you, my loyal subscribers and my loyal followers, the absolute best opportunity to be successful in this market. Right, so there it is, all lowercase, YouTube, discount code, 50% off. If you have any questions, reach out to me at Ryan, RYAN, at sellthatoption.com. Or, as always, stay humble, stay hungry, and here's to our success.